Sir, how long have you been in law enforcement?
14 years.
And you had a situation involving a individual who pulled a weapon on you?
Tried to rob me at an ATM machine.
And what went through your head? Can you explain what happened?
I went to an ATM machine. I saw an individual coming up from my left. By the time I looked at the right, it was a guy right in front of me with a weapon pointed right in my face. Told me to run all the money.
And what did you do at that point?
I instantly thought my training at threat management. I had never had any training before that taught me anything about anyone with a weapon pointed directly in my face. And I utilized my training at threat management, disarmed the individual, and held him to help arrive.
Excellent. And you were a police officer at the time?
Yes, sir.
And are you currently assigned to a police training organization at this time?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And would you advise other law enforcement officers to take the Enforcer Tech law enforcement training program here offered at Threat Management Center?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
And you believe it would save life? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How are you today, sir?
Good, sir. How are you?
Excellent. And how long have you been in law enforcement?
20 years, City of Detroit.
Okay, excellent. And what do you think about the Threat Management Center NICE program, Non-Injury Compliance and Extractions Program?
This program, I believe, I know, will save a lot of lives on the department. This is information that is not given to us regularly, and this will definitely save lives as well as liabilities for the Department of City of Detroit.
And would you recommend this for any police officers outside of Detroit as well?
I would highly recommend this training for all agencies, whether they be suburban, rural, or urban.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Agent. Been in law enforcement for about 16 years now. Threat management has been part of my life for about 9 years now. The training is spectacular. It's great for law enforcement. I think it could save a lot of lives, a lot of cops' lives.
And you're in law enforcement?
Yes, I am. Been in law enforcement 15 years, 5 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections, 10 years with the Detroit Police Department.
And what is your rank?
Sergeant.
And how many years of martial arts training have you had?
Been training martial arts all of my life, probably consistently at least the last 10, 12 years.
And what type of study have you conducted?
This martial arts?
Yes.
Kickboxing, I'm second rank in Jeet Kune Do. Also experimented with judo and wrestling.
And in law enforcement, what type of training have you gone through?
I was an instructor for PPCT. I'm instructor for many defensive tactics, techniques. Taught firearms, taught rifle, and disbursement of chemical gas.
And what did you think of the training that's offered here for law enforcement in the Non-Injury Compliance and Extractions Program specifically designed for law enforcement? What did you think of our program here?
The training was excellent. Some of the best training experience I've ever had. And what I like most about this training as a supervisor, the reduced liability, because the training allows law enforcement officers to gain control and compliance from the subjects without creating injuries, and that reduces our liability.
And would you recommend this training for other law enforcement professionals?
Absolutely. I am sold. I'm not an easy person to convince. I'm no nonsense. I've been doing this all my life, and this training works. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. What do you think of the threat management training for police officers, the tactical training?
He said he got the best submission hose ever. I mean, the best takedown hose that you can think of.
And what would
Excellent source of training for the police department.
And you'd recommend it for police officers everywhere?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Sir, what is your background?
Former Marine and served in Desert Storm, a former Viper. My code name is Cobra 4, and I'm a second degree black belt. Also, I've served in law enforcement for 17 years.
And what do you think about your training in the Vipers program, and how's it affected your life?
The training was outstanding and very good for your personal use as well as anything that you have to use on the job or even saving and protecting your family.
And you remember using the training on actual violent criminals as a Viper, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And you found it very effective?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. What's your background, sir?
31 years in law enforcement. I started with the community of Highland Park, where we were public safety, where police, fire, and EMT. And then after about 4 years, transitioned over to the Michigan State Police and retired after some 27 years.
And what did you think about threat management training for law enforcement officers?
Being in law enforcement over 31 years, I started with, if you can believe it, out of the chokehold where that was taught. Law enforcement training has evolved to the point where threat management, its time has come. It is less injurious, and more important, It is user-friendly in terms of whatever the skill level might be of the law enforcement professional. I believe in it so much that for 17 years, I incorporated in my personal training with that of the Michigan State Police, and even had an opportunity over the years as I worked with Dale Brown to be able to teach other law enforcement officers that of the NICE program.
Thank you, sir.